currents stir nutrients from the nutrient-rich seabed and mix them into the water column. Warmed by spring sunshine, our nutrient-rich waters give rise to fabulous blooms of phytoplankton, microscopic plants which float in the water, and zooplankton, tiny animals and the offspring of much sea life which feed upon these plants. These small organisms support a grand array of greater marine life, from scallops and cuttlefish to otters, basking sharks, and, of course, millions of seabirds. The second source of our wild riches is the size of our coastline. Wild species like edges. The boundary between wood and pasture, or land and sea, is always a dynamic place, offering opportunities to hunt, feast, and shelter. And Britain and Ireland are more edge than middle. The coast of Britain alone is longer than India's, and its twists and turns total more than 10,000 miles. Bird lovers travel across the world to enjoy seabird spectacles on the Falklands or Galapagos Islands, but the British Isles actually host 8 million nesting seabirds each year, far more than either of those famed archipelagos. Scotland alone is home to 45% of Europe's entire seabird population. The third contributor to our wealth of nature is these islands' spectacularly varied geological foundations. From the chalk cliffs of Old Harry Rocks on the south coast to the Torridon sandstones of the Highlands, our islands have taken shape over millions of years, and from more than one continent. The northwest of Scotland and parts of Wales and Ireland are home to the gneisses, our oldest rocks at 2.7 billion years old. These rocks once formed part of an entirely separate continent, divided from the land that came to make Britain's southeast by 4,500 miles of ocean. Over millions of years, rocks were deposited as lands shifted, volcanoes erupted, and seas came and went. Shales, siltstones, and sandstones were created, while the bounteous animal life in the warm tropical seas of ancient times was gradually laid down as chalk and carboniferous limestone. More recently, ice ages have come and gone, their glaciers and meltwaters carving out valleys, lakes, and hills of shingle and sand. This varied geology has bequeathed a wide range of soils, habitats, and plants. The chalk hillsides of England are not only rich in flowers and insect life, but give rise to chalk streams featuring unique aquatic life. Around 85% of the planet's known chalk streams are found in England. The fourth reason for our wealth of wildlife is a temperate Atlantic climate. Britain and Ireland are mild countries, with temperatures above the global average for their latitude. Cool winters are followed by warm summers, with few of the extremes of temperature found on continental land masses. The gentle warming that keeps our winters relatively mild is provided by the Gulf Stream, a swift current in the Atlantic Ocean which begins at the tip of Florida and heads up the east coast of the United States before crossing the Atlantic to Western Europe. Mild weather and rain sweeps in from the west. These conditions have created a suite of Atlantic species and temperate rainforest. Nevertheless, there is also a gulf between the weather in the far north and that in the extreme south, and these contrasting near-Arctic and near-Mediterranean conditions give rise to a wide range of plants and animals that pursue very different lifestyles. We think of our islands as crowded and dominated by people, but there are formidable populations of wild animals too. England may be one of the most densely populated major countries in the world, with an average of 432 people living in every square kilometre. But in the Highlands of Scotland, there are only 8 people per square kilometre. No wonder there are more golden eagles and red deer here than anywhere else in Europe. Britain has a higher density